So we are still bullish, right? Like it doesn't make sense to not be bullish here. These are the two areas that I'm most worried about. If you want to use an order block, I guess you can just use this. It's close enough, whatever. We're at resistance, right? Nothing too difficult here. I'm going to go ahead and use the highs of this monthly candle. Why? Because in a bullish trend, I don't anticipate prices to come all the way back down and give you a retest deep in here. I don't think that's going to happen. So we're looking for at most, if prices manage to come down here, leading closer to the ETF, right? The ETF is in about 55-ish days or so, or well, that's the expected date. That doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be on the 55th, the 56th, the 57th, doesn't matter. That's just a general time frame that we're expecting some type of update on. So if prices do come down to this 32, I'm willing to front run around 33, right? Which is like 33, 33.5. That area is where I'm looking to bid, like massively, right? Massively. For now, because we are approaching this monthly resistance, what are we doing? We're taking profit a little bit faster than usual. Whenever prices give us the opportunity, we're going to take profit. So the 4 hour, I'm pretty certain prices are just going to kind of chop. So I don't think this is going to be one of those, you know, God candles that fly all the way up. You should be taking profit. Now, where should you look to rebid if you're not waiting for the monthly levels? So again, we're going to be trading this as intraday, intra-week, right? Which implies that we're looking at kind of these lower time frame ranges, right? So at the range highs, you're not looking to short, but maybe you're just looking to take profit on your longs, right? And if prices do break out from here, you have a surefire long that you can just play a breakout. And you can use Bitcoin as a proxy for basically all your alts, because I'm pretty certain that anytime Bitcoin goes up, your shitcoins are probably gonna, you know, appreciate as well. Vice versa, it would make sense to buy some Bitcoin, some ETH, some alts, whatever, whenever Bitcoin hits these lows, right? So yeah, play this range between 37.4 and 35. This is your new range. We took the lows yesterday, immediately went up to the highs. Let's do ETH real quick. If I could, I would take some profit. I am on stream, but I would love to take some profit right here, as I feel like this is a logical area for prices to pull back, because I think it's going to chop. So I think it's most likely going to do something like this. It's going to do some painful, staked out fucking sideways move and then print like a 10% candle. Basically what it did before. Again, if we go back to just kind of the game theory, the most obvious assets for everybody, accessible to everybody, tend to move in a very predatory way. Whereas if it's clear to you, but you're like a fundamental analyst, you broke things down, you understand every little thing, what's clear to you might not be clear to everybody else. ETH is pretty fucking clear to everybody, okay? Like ETH is pretty fucking clear, and eventually it will have its own bull run. But you know, to say that ETH will outperform a lot of the other coins that we looked at is probably just cope, because it shouldn't. In a healthy market environment, ETH shouldn't outperform all these other coins. Solana right here, pretty clean SR retest. I would buy anywhere from here down to 61, maybe even like a 60.8 up to whatever price is right now would be a pretty good buy on this SR retest. And if it closes below 60.5 or something, you get the fuck out. I personally would not short Solana, even if it falls back under this range, okay? I know that it's cool to be a double-sided trader where you're longing, you're shorting, you're longing, you're shorting, and you're nailing both sides. For the majority of you guys, it does not make sense for you guys to do that, because there's so much money to be made on the long side, and the market is so unforgiving to the short side that it just simply doesn't make sense for most people to attempt to squeeze that extra couple percentages by being cute. Let's do BONK. As long as Solana holds that $60 area, I have a feeling BONK is just gonna, it's probably just gonna rip. That's just the type of market that we're in. I wouldn't put too much money into BONK right away because it's very illiquid, and the funding was pretty nasty last time I checked. I would be careful, especially with Bitcoin kind of at resistance, but Solana does look good. It might sit sideways and you have a chance to consolidate. Celestia, if you want a long, I think the low time frame range right here around 580 is the zone, not 605 or whatever, 580, okay, 580, somewhere down here. If you're buying TIA, you're basically expecting that this coin, because it has very few holders, it's such a new coin, that essentially prices should just keep ticking upwards because there's a lack of selling pressure, especially because they're not doing unlocks until October 24. You would expect structure to hold up as long as the markets hold up. So who knows how high this can go, which is why there's no take profit for this, right? Our entry was around this area, around this 580 down to 530 area. And until then, we're just going to keep holding because you never know if it does some insane move. Like, you really don't. Yeah, you know, MATIC, that price action earlier kind of surprised me. So I would probably get out of my MATIC position just because factors. One, I don't like that this entire move got retraced, right? It's not as strong as I would like, right? And in a bull market, if coins are weak, that's a big red flag because everything in the market is literally strong. So when you see something that is weak, it's almost like, what the fuck is going on, right? Like there has to be something, because even stupid shit like Phantom is going up, right? Where there's like 100 users, barely any money flowing through, no real innovation going on over there. It makes you kind of question what the reality of the situation is. Is it really strong, or am I just being sold a narrative that's not necessarily true? So yeah, I'd be careful here. You know, DYDX does not look that bad. So I know there's a token unlock coming in a couple days. The team appears to be doing everything in their power to make sure that this coin goes up. I wouldn't be surprised to see this probably make another higher high, maybe like 450, 5 around there. I would not be surprised. I was reading some of the stuff that was going on in their Telegram, in their Discord, on their Twitter, and then I was also reading a couple things from the community that people were just tweeting threads about. And I love it when a team does morally gray things to pump my bags. There's a part of me that's like, yeah, I love that. Whatever you want to do illegally to pump my coins so that I don't have to do anything illegally, bro, I'm taking it. And it feels like the team is kind of doing that. So I'll take that. You might get a lower high, but you know, I do think that's still like a 7-8% move, which isn't bad, especially on the hourly. So where would I bid if this comes down? If this comes down, I'm not bidding anywhere. If a team who's manipulating the features and movements of a coin before the unlock gets dumped on, I'm not stepping in on that. Let's do Sui. Structure is very weak. I'd wait for another higher low. Just let it come down here. Maybe try to bid this higher low. Maybe. I'm really torn on this. I would bid it and I would just have a stop loss and I wouldn't size up too much. INJ definitely did not move the way I wanted it to right here. This was supposed to be over under, right? So you get in, nuked, and I think this is just a retest of it. So I'm not a big fan of what I'm seeing across the market. I will be completely honest. That rejection just made a lot of charts look really bad. Don't rush into any positions right now. Like this is why we kind of decided, okay, we're gonna treat this like it's stuck in a range, because so far it is. And with that comes when you get rejected at right, the range highs that we just kind of spoke about. Give it some time, let market participants reposition, reallocate, close, enter, whatever. Let the dust settle a little bit, and then we'll think about what we need to do, because we'll get a clearer picture that way. We don't have to enter right now and get into the action as it's already playing out, right? Like there's no need for that. Let's go back to INJ. As an area of possible re-entry, I like this low, right? So I like this area. Reason for that is it'll match with the higher low, and I also think if prices were to come all the way down here, right, I just don't see how this doesn't just continue going down to like 13. So if you want and expect an uptrend, which I assume you are because you want to buy, you are ideally buying 16, 20-ish down to 16. Let's do render. Oh wow, Jesus. Is there something going on with this coin? Like, I mean, that's a great consolidative structure right there. I wouldn't buy it here, no. I would absolutely not buy it here. But if you're looking to buy a pullback, pretty free one is this daily. So you're looking at probably 248, 250, something like this to happen on lower time frames. So you're looking for something like this to happen, right? Some type of bottoming structure to happen. That's what I would do. I would not buy it here. I know prices are high and I know prices are up and I know it looks really strong. This is just not a good decision to make in a range. It doesn't look bad. Maker doesn't look terrible actually. Yeah, if you're looking to buy, I would say 14 would be a good area. Like this 14, or maybe just under 14 wouldn't be too bad either. Like this would be where I'd buy. If not, you're buying daily resistance, and this level just, you know, is a sweep as well on the 4-hour. Remember what we talked about? Retests where prices sweep the highs are not the same as retests where prices don't sweep the highs, okay? Very different connotation there. So I'd look for maybe like back into this structure, 14. Yeah, I wouldn't buy this right here. No. I think it's probably not going to do well until ETH shows significant strength, and that just hasn't been the case. So you're looking at probably January, right? If the ETF delay is until January, you're probably looking at January. This is a painful one to hold. Say doesn't look bad. See, this is what you're looking for if you want to bid, right? Like a strong move and then a pullback. So yeah, say doesn't look bad right here. I would get in and I would move my stop to under 14.84. Like it should not retrace this entire pump. Big candle up, shouldn't see a retrace. So anywhere, you know, right here, LINA coin looks very liquid because it constantly hunts, you know, like constantly, but it's not too bad. Yeah. If you're looking at it objectively, it is clearing this resistance right here. Target would be probably somewhere in like 1.4s. Right, like the 1.4s, this area. I don't expect it to go all the way up here just because it's one of the weaker structures, so you have to temper your targets. But yeah, like around 14. Oh dude, Chainlink looks kind of good too. Part of me wants to long Chainlink and then part of me wants to kind of just watch it burn, but I do think Chainlink is one of the real world assets or whatever, so it should have some type of momentum, at least, you know, in like the near future. Oh hey, who's market buying as I'm saying this? Yo, I want to buy this afterwards. Chill. There's no need to do this.